Good morning and welcome to Jim's 5am Club. And it's another magnificent morning, another magnificent day, and I'd just like to take an opportunity to chat to you about a topic which is near and dear to my heart. It's something that I recently came across, which I found very interesting and something worth sharing. It's about happiness and the search for happiness, and how do you know when somebody has achieved happiness and have had a happy life. Years ago I read about a philosopher called Solon, who was the lawgiver of Athens, and one person once asked him, who's the happiest person in the world? And he says, you just don't know. You have to wait until the end of their life to know if they are happy or not, because our lives have ups and downs, and things can change in a heartbeat. Where everything is going swimmingly can turn to absolute disaster overnight. But today I want to talk to you about an athlete called Diagoras, who participated in the ancient Olympic Games in Olympia and has a magnificent record of achievement. Diagoras won two consecutive Olympic events in the sport of Bangradion, which is a mixed martial arts. So he won that twice at Olympia, so he was crowned Olympic champion twice. He also won 4 championships at the Isthmian Games, which are in Corinth. He won 2 events at the Nemean Games and 1 at the Pythian Games. So an athlete of great accomplishment, and one who was celebrated as an absolute hero. But the story gets better. Just to give you some background, Diagoras was from the island of Rhodes, and he had 3 children, 3 sons. And in the year 448 BC, 2 of his sons were crowned Olympic champions, one in the sport of Pancration and the other one in boxing. And to celebrate, they lifted their champion father, onto their shoulders and did a lap of honour in the stadium there at Olympia, where the crowd were cheering, they were throwing flowers and just absolutely going crazy with happiness for him. And because it's quite rare to be an Olympic champion, and it's quite rare to have not only 1 but 3 children, 3 sons who became Olympic champions as well. His eldest son was crowned Olympic champion over 2 successive games. His middle son was in 448 was an Olympic champion as well, and also his youngest son was an Olympic champion. But it doesn't stop there. His grandson was also an Olympic champion. So you got 3 generations of Olympic champions back in the days when to be an Olympic champion made you a hero. It was a monumental accomplishment to be crowned Olympic champion in a particular skill or sport. So Diagoras not only won himself, but his 3 sons were crowned, and also his grandson. But let me just go back and tell you about what had happened there. So when they were doing the victory lap and the crowd was celebrating and calling out, one person in the crowd called out to Diagoras, Die now, Diagoras, for you will not make it to Olympia and be crowned the ultimate champion of all. To which legend says that Diagoras passed away at that point in time, and this is where Pindar says that Diagoras is known as the happiest man ever, because he died at the absolute peak of his life. Where it's important, the lesson here is quite interesting. So it's important to be successful in your own life, but what this suggests here in terms of happiness is it's even more important for your children to be as good as you, if not better than you. So this story here of Diagoras basically highlights the importance to strive to be the best you can be in your lifetime, but also to be a leader and a mentor to others, to enable them to grow and develop and be the best possible version of themselves that they can be. And if they can equal and excel your accomplishments, then you've done very, very well as a parent. And to have it go over 3 generations is just unbelievable. So to have 3 generations of Olympic champions is a very, very rare feat, and something to honour and to remember and to consider as being an absolute massive sort of outcome. So how do we use this? How do people use this? Quite simply, as parents, we need to be role models. We need to set a standard for our family to try and emulate and live up to. And children, your role is not to just be the children of the family, but to try and match your parents, match your father, match your mother, and be as good as them, if not better than them. While it sounds easy, it's not. Yeah, you look across families, you look across generations, and usually you've got a grandparent or a parent who has really stood out and been a leader in their field. But it's very, very rare to see that person have children who are as good, if not better, let alone to see grandchildren to be champions or leaders in their own right. I remember years ago reading a book, The Millionaire Next Door, which suggested that, and the Greeks have a saying for this as well, that one generation makes it, the other generation uses it, and the third generation blows it. And it's quite similar that not each generation of family members have the same thirst and desire to be successful, to be great at anything. What normally happens is that you've got one person who has a certain zeal and a talent which they hone and work for their whole lives, but they have children, and the children are a little bit spoilt and lack that desire, that thirst to be good at anything, which is extremely frustrating for any parent, because each and every parent wants their children to maximise their potential and be as good, if not better than them. But by the same token, there are parents who don't want their children to be as good or better because they feel threatened by that fact. But I think the normal thing is for parents to want their children to be as good as they can possibly be in their lives. But so the challenge for children, the challenge for the second and third generation, is to make your parents, your grandparents, as proud as you can be, as they can be. Do whatever you can to set your own standard, to raise the bar at each generation. Because don't forget, when you come into your life and you've got a successful parent, you don't come in at the ground level. You come in at second or third story. So you've got an advantage already, financially, mentally, from a network perspective, because your parent or parents or grandparents, in order to achieve greatness, have built a foundation and a network which you can leverage off. So if you don't become at least as good as them, if not better, then you've let the team down, so to speak. So I challenge you to do the best you possibly can and try and make your parents and grandparents as proud as possible. Anyway, that's enough from me today. Let's finish off with a positive affirmation. I'm alive, I am well, and I feel great. To all my friends and family, stay connected, stay relevant, and to everybody, just try and do the best you possibly can, and because you create joy. And as Diagoras died at that peak in his life, let's see if we can try and help the leaders in our family, the senior members of our family, also end their days proud and happy with what they've left behind, knowing that their children and grandchildren will continue the good works and be as good, if not better, than the people who came before them. Take care, and have a good rest of the day. Until tomorrow, 5 a.m, I look forward to coming to you from a different location, hopefully one with a bit of scenery rather than from in the car. But I can't be out and about every single day because I am working. But I do look forward to delivering these Series 2 Jim's 5 a.m. clubs to you, and it's a pleasure and an honour for me. Anyway, take care. Yassas. Bye for now.